This is He Knows Everything, bringing you that hate that far. We keeping a foot on the what? The dicks. We keeping a foot on the what? The dicks. And like the Tibetan master that I am, I'm applying what? Unlimited pressure. Because pressure does what? Heat versus pipes. What? Heat versus pipes. You know we got to get the what right. Max Kellerman get the biggest salute of the damn day. Stephen A. Snake, stop the presses and pump the brakes on the nonsense. Go sit down somewhere and what? Giggity fucking hush. You see, you guys gotta understand, I can get on Stephen A. Smith when I need to, because I'm not exclusionary to basically supporting somebody. I don't believe in this utilitarian rule of supporting somebody 100% of the times. It's called bullshit and fuck shit. Stephen A. Snake told an emphatic lie. The emphatic lie that Stephen A. Snake told, and I have to tell you guys this in a very fundamental way, is as simple as this. That Floyd Mayweather versus Logan Paul was bad for boxing. How the fuck was that shit bad for boxing? Floyd Mayweather, like Max Kellerman so eloquently told you guys, when Max Kellerman is not sniffing the angel dust, Max Kellerman doesn't become Max Foolerman. He actually becomes Max Kellerman. Let me say it again. Max Kellerman doesn't become Max Foolerman. He actually becomes Max Kellerman. Max Kellerman knows boxing. Contrary to what people think, he knows boxing. You don't need to be a person that's in the square circle to know the sport. You just have to study to shew thyself approved unto God. For a workman needeth not be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth in every respective genre that you do. You just have to know it. The bottom line is as simple as this. When we look at the delineation, the distinction, the gulf, and the separation that's associated with what Stephen A. Snake said, see, I'm going to get on his ass. I supported him over the Kwame Brown situation because what he said at that time was right. But I'm going to get on his ass with this situation because what he's saying is fundamentally wrong. Floyd already told you this was going to be entertainment. This is not Floyd Money Mayweather, the prize fighter. Stephen A. Snake, when he doesn't know something, he really is ignorant to the fact. But he's one of these guys. If I don't give him anything, I'll give him that. And that's how he's been able to sell himself. Stephen A. Snake will not know a topic on some shit, but he got enough soliloquy to run his rabbit ass mouth. And he does it with fucking pure conviction, dog. I'll give him that. This motherfucker don't be knowing the shit he's talking about on any respective combat sports topic, but he don't show you that he's sweating, dog. He learned that terminology growing up from somebody. It was an elder statesman, alpha male, that taught him that shit.
Go ahead,
Don't let them see you sweat, dog. Let me say it again. Don't let them see you sweat. Fake it till you fucking make it. I like that about Stephen A. But it's also a crippling thing that hinders him. And the reason why I say that is because when you sound stupid, you just sound stupid. Sun Tzu, aka Art of War, tells you that a strong man that's in a strongman position knows when it's time to retreat. A strong man knows when it's time to not basically fight, because it's just not logistically, it's just not tactically, it's just not basically what we would say ethically and morally and mentally at the right time to do that. And if you do that, the strongman position hence becomes the weak man's position. Like that. It's a snap of the thumb. See, I'm always in Art of War mode. That's why people can't catch up when He Knows Everything. Always in Art of War mode. 48 Laws of Power tells you that too. Know when to strike. Know when to pull back. There's got to be a pullback. In this moment, Stephen A. should have digressed to what Max Kellerman was talking about, because Max Kellerman made an emphatic point. Floyd already told you he was coming to make it an excitement thing. This is a 44-year-old Floyd Mayweather, man. What do you guys expect? That's why I didn't pay for the shit. When I root for somebody on a Michael Jordan and a Floyd Mayweather level, I know what their levels are at. I know their full gamut. I know what I appreciated with them. I know their greatness personification. I know what gets me going. Shit, this motherfucker about to lash a motherfucker up, do a motherfucker up, lace a motherfucker up, ram-a-lang a motherfucker up. Either on the basketball court or in the boxing ring. I know what the highest levels look like when these guys are getting ready to do it. But let's keep it a buck. When Michael Jordan played for the Washington Wizards, I was mad at him because he cheated me. He told me he was going to come back and still dominate. He said when he retired that he would not come back and play the sport. I'm going to tell you guys a little secret. There's one time I was mad at Michael Jordan. Richie Rich knows this shit. I was fucking mad at MJ, dog, because he lied to me. He told me that I wouldn't come back and play the game of basketball if I didn't feel that I could dominate the game on the same level. When he showed up in the Wizards jersey, that was his moment to show that he was going to be able to do that. I knew from a logistical standpoint, from a mental standpoint, from a logical standpoint, that Michael Jordan was no longer the same player. But boy, that's the thing with being an alpha man at the highest levels, dog. Sometimes, boy, your stubbornness. I understand that stubbornness because I'm like that too. Believe me, I'm like that. Richie Rich will testify and tell you guys. He hasn't met another person that's as competitive as Michael Jordan on the planet, but he knows everything. You're not going to find another person as competitive as me, dog. A lot of motherfuckers that have fucked with me, they will tell you. They will testify this shit to you. I'm competitive to the point to where that shit will piss you the fuck off and it'll annoy you because I compete for every little thing. So that's why I understand the Michael Jordan brain because he's like that too. But the difference between me and Michael Jordan is I also have the Kobe Bryant mentality of knowing that as long as I put everything in it and I've done everything that I needed to do, then I don't need to be erroneous and go into a situation to where it's not going to benefit me. It's not going to be my benefactor. It's not going to help me. That's why I'm both Jordan and Kobe. If anybody knows that, that's my mentality. I'm both Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. I'm a perfect mesh of both. Because there are similarities with them. There is basically what we would say twinisms with them. And there's differences with them, dog. And I know the difference with the Michael Jordan and the Kobe Bryant. And I know their similarities and I know what makes them tick the same. And that's the difference. Jordan just competes off the strength of competing. I'm like that too. Kobe don't compete off the strength of competing. Kobe competes when it makes sense to him for him to compete. But Kobe knows when he's not in that mode, he knows how to turn that shit off. That's the greatest difference between the both of them. It's just the way they cut. You know, double dragons, true alphas. That's just the way they cut. They cut from a different grain. But the bottom line is as simple as this, man. When we sit here and we look at Michael Jeffrey Jordan and we look at Kobe Bean Bryant and we look at a Floyd Mayweather, what Stephen A. Smith don't understand is Floyd Mayweather, Michael Jordan, these guys, their level of greatness sometimes hinders them. Because these guys don't know when to stop. When you see Floyd keep coming back for exhibition bouts, if there's any criticism I have with Floyd is that Floyd don't know when to call that shit quit. That's why I say him and Michael Jordan are wired the same way. Kobe Bryant, Earl the True Spence, they're a little different. Kobe Bryant knows as long as he put everything out there, Earl the True Spence, as long as I put everything out there, I could retire and I could be happy because guess what? I've exhausted the gas on E. Michael Jordan testified to that. He said Kobe Bryant exhausts all the gas on E. That's why Kobe does that, so that Kobe doesn't have to keep coming back. It's the same thing with Earl the True Spence, so they don't have to keep coming back. Not to say that Michael Jordan and Floyd don't do this, but these guys are that's just the way they are. That's why you see Floyd and Michael Jordan have the same issues. They gamble like a motherfucker. They got gambling problems. They always want to get into shit. Because these guys are competitors at the highest levels, they just always want to compete for every fucking thing. So that's the thing that's getting Floyd, just that element of it. But what Stephen A. Smith don't understand is that Floyd told you what he was going to do. He didn't lie to you. He didn't lie to the public. And I'm glad Max Kellerman so eloquently put it out there. If you motherfuckers went and paid for this shit, because I didn't pay for it, that's why I can laugh this shit off. If you went and paid for it and you went and watched it, then blame yourself. Go look in a fucking mirror and slap yourself. No. Let me let that marinate in the corpus callosum and in the cerebellum. So hear me fucking if you was sometimes sometimes I laugh at my own shit, dog. It's hard for me to even laugh at my own shit, but sometimes I do. That means I'm firing on so much high level cylinders, dog. Whoosh! If you pay for the shit, dog. That shit I said was so deep and profound, dog. We gotta run that motherfucker back. If you pay for the shit and you was stupid enough to fall for the gimmick of a YouTuber and a Floyd that's a banana peel away from the grave. That's on you. That's an indictment to you. You need to go in front of a mirror and you need to slap yourself and slap yourself straight. How did you guys think that this was going to be a stud of a performance? You're talking about a guy that's never fought professionally before, a guy that's a YouTuber, and a guy that's well past his prime. That's why Floyd told you at the end of the fight, I'm not 21 no more. Floyd says a lot without saying a lot, man. I just understand his mind, so I understand everything he means. When you operate at a Godzilla, true alpha extraordinaire, governed by true alpha economics mindset, like the way he knows everything operates, you understand everything alpha males are saying. Guys that are truly alpha males. And we ain't talking about fake it till you make it alpha males. We're talking about true, verily, I say unto thee, alpha males. You know what they're thinking, man. You know what's in their corpus callosum. You know what's in their cerebellum. When they release it, you know what they mean. And Floyd doesn't say a lot, but what he says is grandiose. It's kind of like Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan doesn't say a lot, but what he says is grandiose. But guys like Kobe Bryant, guys like myself, guys like Earl the True Spence, we articulate ourselves just a little bit more. We run our mouths just a little bit more. And everything we say is emphatic. Everything we say is what the fuck we mean. See, alpha males are wired differently, or alpha males are cut differently. There's a lot of versions of alpha males, man. And I say all of that to say this. Max Kellerman G-checked Stephen A. Snake for his ignorance. This shit was good for boxing because, like Max Kellerman eloquently said, Terrence Bud Crawford and Earl the True Spence, Stephen A. Snake, he's so ignorant he don't realize that it's the Chihuahua walking behind the damn fence that's holding it up. But he didn't want to clown him because remember, Terrence Bud Crawford's sister company ESPN, Stephen A. Snake, works for ESPN. You see how it ties? Then he had to throw in Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder. Basically, they made Tyson Fury look like the creme de la creme. And he actually does, because Deontay Wilder, and that's what I told you guys, he took a stainage of a pay to lose via Glovegate. That basically brought his aura down, man. That dent in the skull also testifies to that. And Max Kellerman was like, with all that bullshit that's going on, cinnamon dust of a horchata of an Alvarez. When Andre Ward got to come out of retirement to try to fight you and you duck him, it's a things that make you say, It's a things that make you say, And what it speaks volumes. It speaks magnitudes. It speaks ebbs and flows, peaks and valleys, trials and tribulations, and ups and downs. But it speaks a fundamental problem of why the sport is in the gutter that it is in. Because of the economics, the politics, and the pugilism that's associated with a cinnamon dust of a horchata of an Alvarez that doesn't want to fight Jamal Charlo or Demetrius Andrade. If you want smoke, it's free, but you can't smoke for free. If you want smoke, it's free, but you can't smoke for free. If you want smoke, it's free, but you can't smoke for free. If you want smoke, it's free, but you can't smoke for free. If you want smoke, it's free, but you can't smoke for free. You get the terminology? That means the smoke is free, but your ass got to get charged and taxed while you get booed the fucking doors, steamed the fucking road, plowed the fucking through. And Max Kellerman had to check Stephen A. Snake for his lack of boxing knowledge, his ignorance, his naivety. Because when you speak from a place of ignorance and being plain old naive, then the Hosea 4 verse 6 rule applies. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will reject thee. And Stephen A. Snake was rejected because his ignorance rejected him. His naivety rejected him. Because he sounded like a boxing casual at the highest levels. He sounded like an amateur at the Apollo. getting booed, getting tomato cans thrown at his ass. And Max Kellerman had to teach him. This shit that Floyd did, once again, helped the sport. You know why it helped the sport? Because although I don't like the exhibition element of it, I understand the genius behind what Floyd did. Floyd brought excitement back to the sport of boxing. This has nothing to do with Logan Paul and Jake Paul, whatever. Floyd always finds perfect situations, prop up motherfuckers that basically have some kind of popularity, and then he uses it to his benefactor. Man, Floyd uses the self-preservation as the law of the land bit to the most genius level. A lot of motherfuckers that say Floyd is stupid, he can't read, they're so out of touch. They just don't even understand how out of touch they are. They don't understand how much Floyd is ahead of these motherfuckers, dog. Mentally, I already see the infinite Sukuyumi that Floyd did on all these motherfuckers. I wasn't going to be part of it because I operate on a mental level to where Floyd can't infinite Sukuyumi me. But he damn sure infinite Sukuyumi you motherfuckers. Because I'm a three-dimensional thinker. You can't infinite Sukuyumi a three-dimensional thinker. Because I have the ability to infinite Sukuyumi too. You get it? The bottom line is as simple as this. Floyd robbed the bank. Floyd brought excitement back to the sport. Floyd told a Teofimo Lopez, a super duper hype job variation, your push date is getting pushed to the fucking side. You Rudy Poo and Plum Plum brain. You classic dope and troglodyte. You ultra fanboy with the ultra fanboy rhetoric. Floyd showed his overall power on the sport of boxing. There's only one other person that wields that power in the sport in today's landscape, and that's Earl the True Spence. That's the cold hearted. That's the unadulterated. That's the cutthroat truth teller fashion. I keeps the foot on the what? X. I keeps the foot on the what? X. P.S. man, I leave with this. When a person shows you who they are the first time, believe them. Max Kellerman, you get the biggest salute of the damn day for this topic. Stephen A. Snake, you know what's coming. Stop the presses and pump the brakes on the nonsense. Go sit down somewhere and what? Higgity fucking hush. This is He Knows Everything. Check it out.